There has been an avalanche of news about P. Diddy. Number one, I don't know much about him. Number two, I don't care. P. Diddy to me is meh. Overrated. Now he's in trouble. Some pretty strong accusations are being made. One of my coworkers informed me that his ex-wife, who was murdered, and they believe that P. Diddy had something to do with that. She wrote a book, and P. Diddy didn't want the book to come out where P. Diddy was doing sexual things with T.D. Jakes. I have for a long time condemned the teachings of T.D. Jakes, and a blowhard preacher that makes millions of dollars is not called by God. And that is my opinion, and I will stand behind it. But we talk about American women and the way they look at guys like me and a host of other people I know. They'll dump them. They won't have any interest in them. They'll ignore us. They'll cock block us. They'll cite things like thick glasses, early hair loss, or any number of reasons. They'll say that guys are unfaithful, guys cheating, men are assholes. But stop and look at the who's who list of women that were close to P. Diddy. All of them losers. And P. Diddy clearly was a loser. J-Lo. J-Lo's probably got the hottest tits out there, but she was involved with him. What does that say about these women? P. Diddy's got thousands of bottles of baby oil, cameras all over his house. According to memes, social media. Now, I have no way to fact check this, but LeBron was involved in that, according to memes and Facebook stuff that people are posting on Reels. They're claiming Trump was involved. I highly doubt that one. Oprah, Kamala. It's amazing how many Democrats were close to him. And I believe the Democrats have single-handedly destroyed Western women. Feminism is a cancer. It's a cancer that destroys femininity. Feminism is the very opposite of femininity. There are women who want to wear steel bras, yell and cuss and scream and stand up for their rights. I mean, what kind of an attraction level does that hold for us? But P. Diddy, I don't know about him except to say he was an overrated fool, a godless fool. And the fact that America pedestalizes trashy lifestyle people like this is amazing. Number one, let's get down, let's cut straight to the chase. P. Diddy could have gotten homosexual sex, he could have done female sex, and he could have done it without doing the crazy things he did. I'm amazed with all of his money and everything, and because women are vain and people are vain, there are plenty of men and women that would have loved to have gotten nudie, nakey with P. Diddy without all the crazy stuff that he did. Supposedly drugging them or getting them drunk, whatever he did. And now people are scared that stuff's going to come out. Well, they should be. J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez is, and all these people, these women are revered and put on a pedestal in America. They are immature as fuck. They don't choose good men. They choose Diddy, who plays with his pity. And then they judge the hell out of us. They've never dated us. Women are vain. They like a guy with big money, parties, all that, all the popularity of the world. And this is what they choose. It's disgusting. And P. Diddy's like a giant ocean liner going down, and that suction's going to pull a whole lot of people, man. But American women, this highlights what I've said for years, that American women are flaky. The really good-looking celeb culture, that's what they want to identify with. Garbage. Flim-flam, party, drink culture, stupid culture. P. Diddy is not a handsome man. P. Diddy is nothing. He's a hustler. He is a smooth operator, except he beat the shit out of women. And what's really interesting is that women gravitate towards that. Women gravitate towards violent, THUG culture. Can't say that word, you get censored on social media now. They say it's racist. That's ironic. I know white THUGS, I know Hispanic THUGS, and I know black THUGS. There's nothing racist about it. If you're a dick, you're a dick, no matter what skin color you are. P. Diddy was a dick. P. Diddy was an asshole. P. Diddy had a massive amount of wealth, and now the chickens have come home to roost. And American women, this is what they choose. They don't choose us. They put us down. There was something interesting today that I saw a video that I posted on social media. It showed an older woman being interviewed by liberal bullshit news network saying, but Trump talked about grabbing a woman's pussy. And this woman said, I'm a mother. I'd rather have a man who grabs a pussy than a pussy running for president. She said, we ladies have talked dirty. Don't kid yourself. We ladies have talked dirty about what we'd like to do to a man. Now, let me step outside this little box before I put myself in the box. We've always looked at women and thought that they were so holy, righteous. Women mature faster than boys, only in the sense of tits and periods and puberty, okay? But not up here. Not up here. Women can be just as dirty as men. But I like what this woman said. She said, yeah, he said that 8 years ago and he wasn't in the presidency. But if you want to talk about that, let's talk about Bill Clinton getting his wee-wee sucked in the Oval Office with Hillary Clinton right there. You want to talk about that? And the media ignores that shit. It's our media is fucked. It is not professional journalism. It is not about news. It's about, let me tell you what I came up with, okay? Our left media, we got buzzards here in Georgia, and they're the ugliest damn freaking birds I've ever seen. You come around a curve and they're all eating a possum or something in the middle of the road, or a damn anteater, armadillo. And they're gross. And I thought about crows and all that. They're scavenger birds. I said, this is the media today. They find a piece of roadkill that's been ran over by 15,000 trucks in traffic. All that's left is crushed bones, blood, and fur. And these people think they got a fucking feast. That's the media. They're crows. They're scavengers. There's no meat there. There's no story there. But they're down there with this all over their beaks going, look, we got evidence. The evidence is stupid. Then the media has been so full of hatred towards Trump, and the media should be blowing up that P. Diddy is a total Democrat supporter with people wanting to be photo opt with them. And this is what happens when you follow celeb culture. It's almost a satanic cult. The shit that they're doing in there is off the chain. And people have judged me over the years for all kinds of things. The biggest thing I've been judged for is being a man and noticing pretty women. Have you noticed our society is really condemning that? But what the hell is this? P. Diddy likes sucking TDJ's cock? P. Diddy likes sucking other men's cocks? Playing with women, abusing women? And J-Lo thought he was hot stuff? Tells you a lot about J-Lo, doesn't it? Point to your head and say the initials of mountain. MT. I mean, we look at J-Lo. She's not a bad-looking woman. But when I talk about highly good-looking tens women, there's nothing up here. Nothing. And this is what they gravitate to. Trash. Garbage. Refuse. And our media dogs a man like Trump. Trump has his problems. He's not shoe polish. Trump has had his temple of follies, like many men have. And the left wants to condemn him for that. They like to throw stones from their glass houses at other glass houses. But P. Diddy should wake Democrats up. This is an example of your party. There's so much sin and bullshit in there. You should just shut up about Trump and start focusing on your own dirty cat box turds in your litter box. But I will condemn the Kardashians and J-Lo and all these clown women. They got nice tits, but they don't have a fucking brain. And they go after P. Diddy. And the Bible says something interesting. I know I'm interchanging scripture with my own profanity, and I understand that that's distasteful to some, but I've been affected by the culture too, and God's still not done with Pacific, okay? But the truth is the truth. Jesus said, "Marvel not that the world hates you." You see, the world, J-Lo, the Kardashians, those kind of women gravitate towards worldly, lost soul boys, little boys that never grew up. Little boys that got too much money. Little boys like P. Diddy that want to play with baby oil and do all kinds of bizarre and weird, freakish or, James super freak type stuff. And now everybody's shocked. Really? Oprah's trying to distance herself. They got pictures of her right up there with them. What a mess. What a web. What a tangled, fucked up spider web they weave. And now there's women saying, "Oh, I hope he doesn't release a sex video." Me and you, J-Lo, I hope you had fun fucking a guy that was butt fucking men. I hope you feel proud about that. Those women wouldn't give me a chance. They would laugh at everything about me. And they go with that. Is America waking up to this reality yet? Is America seeing it? Are they getting it? No, they're not. The celeb who's who Hollywood culture is drugged. They're blind. They're stupid. And this is what they go after. P. Diddy was no hunk. P. Diddy was no father figure. P. Diddy was not an example of anything worth following, but women like garbage, superficial, celeb money culture. And you got Christian women that say, "I want a man who's like Jesus." And the Christian women aren't any closer to Jesus than anybody else. And they judge us and they condemn us and they write us off. And then they're quiet about that kind of stuff. Have women in America gotten better? No, they haven't. I've changed. I've been through a manifold of changes. I had yellow fever. I was hooked on Asians. Now I've leaned more towards white women and or black women. And, not too many Asians where I live. And the only Asian women I see are older women that are money, money, money at the flea market. And they don't have a smile on their face and they look uptight. No, thanks. There's a few older white women I've looked at. I'm like, man, she's not bad looking and she's actually nice. But it's a fact that really good looking white women, they're a waste of your time, boys. They're a waste of your time. They like P. Diddy. They like Snoop Dogg. Justin Bieber was over there. What is Justin Bieber doing with P. Diddy? P. Diddy like white wiener? I mean, a little boy, white wiener. Justin Bieber is not a man. He's male, but he's not a man. He's a little spoiled brat that needs to go the fuck back to Canada. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And maybe I got the wrong person. What is it, Justin Bieber, or what's the other one? No, I'm thinking Justin Timberlake. No, Justin Timberlake is the American kid or whatever. But the who's who list of all the women that were flanking his side and getting those photo ops and thinking they're so cool. There's a woman I knew at Denver schools, name withheld for obvious reasons. I called her Miss Hollywood. She doesn't wait for an answer to a question. Hi, how are you? Got the Hollywood glass. She got picture after picture after picture with stars and celebs. She lost her CDL due to drunk driving and had to become a bus monitor. And she thinks she's hot stuff, and guys all want to get down her drawers. And I look at her and go, nah. And she's fascinated with Snoop Dogg and flim flam, bric-a-brac, celeb culture. And I have always marveled at that. When I was married to my wife for 14 years, she'd sit there and bring up something walking through oh, did you see that? I said, honey, I don't even care about celeb culture. I don't know these things. I don't care. It's the way our obsession in America is something becomes dominant and they put out there that little privileged 0.001% called celebs, and that's news, and they're so damn important. Not to me. Married again 7 times. How many times has Cher been married? Cher was a hot woman. She looked good up in her older age. But these women are shipwrecks. And P. Diddy, I'm not going to comment on him. This is what happens when you put somebody on a pedestal. They disappoint you badly. No one should be putting anybody on a pedestal. We sit on that toilet and drop stinky loads just like anybody else. We're all made of clay, man. But somebody gets a lot of money, they become cool in the Hollywood elite, which is nothing but the left hand of liberalism. And now it's funny, the Democrats, they're not admitting something. You got some big names here strutting and running with this stuff, and they don't want to talk about that. The media wants to continue like roadkill, crushed bones, feathers and fur, and some gristle, and the crows think that they found a freaking feast. And the media every day is coming out with Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that, Trump offended Zelensky, Trump offended the Jews, Trump offended this person, Trump offended that person. I said, your media has offended me because it's not journalism. This isn't a story. You don't like Trump, you hate Trump, and you're publishing and you're projecting that every day. Americans that have a fucking brain can see what this leftist media is about. It's not journalism. It's just a hate campaign. Somebody brought up a fact. Sky News Australia said you go to a restaurant throughout the United States and ask, and they said you're not finding anybody voting for Kamala. Where's the numbers? But I'm not going to get my hopes up too prematurely. A coworker came to me and said, well, get ready to welcome Madam President. I said, what are you basing this on? Well, the polls. Did they poll me? Did they poll every American? Do you notice these polls have become the Ouija board now? They become the fortune telling, the horoscope. Folks, we're going to see what happens after the election. That's it. Nobody's a clairvoyant here. Analysts say it's close as hell. I've said for years, you got almost 100 million voters out there that are stupid. They will always vote Democrat ticket. Kamala Harris is an example of how foolish the Democratic Party has been. Democrats love to brag they have more college schooling and degrees than Republicans do. And the best candidate they can put out there is a word salad queen that goes, are you serious? I said this for years and it still stands. Nothing's changed. Pacific is proven right by the self-parading evidence. American women are not that bright. On the left, the best candidate they can put out is not a good public speaker, somebody who won't give press releases, somebody who's hiding like Bunker Joe. Kamala Harris is terrible, and Kamala knows it. Kamala Harris was good at giving blowjobs. She got a Mercedes because she played with a black man's dick. She got to where she is because she sucked the black man's dick. That's not a qualification, folks. Any woman can do that. And it needs to be said that way. If you want proof that American women are dumb, look at all the women getting behind her simply because she's a female. These women aren't looking at Putin, Iran, North Korea, China. They're not looking at that. These women aren't looking at how dangerous Islam is. If Islam had their way, they would rape and use these women and kill them. They wouldn't put them on no pedestal. P. Diddy is a foolish, sinful man, like all of us are or were. And if he doesn't give his life to Jesus Christ, he's on a grease pole to the lake of fire. I don't care what Hollywood and the left says. P. Diddy is going to hell. So is Oprah. So is Kamala. So is J-Lo. So are all these clowns that hobnob and yuck it up. The devil makes his own look good. David said this. He lamented this. Why do the wicked prosper? You think any of those big names running around P. Diddy are going to get in trouble? Of course not. Of course not. The Democrats got an immunity that doesn't quit. I will go as far. It seems that Satan protects his own. God is sovereign. He allows Satan to have that illusion. It'll be an interesting day when God finally tells Satan, get out of my presence. And he's cast down to earth. And watch what he does when he's cast down. He's going to go after people with a vengeance. Hollywood is a nice front for Satan and his minions. The press, the media. And the Bible says, broad is the road that leads to destruction. And you've actually got liberal media out there saying they're telling the truth. They don't even start with this. And we're going to say their truth. No, they're the broad road that leads to destruction. The party culture, the celeb culture. Oh, look at all the money. Look at the big giant white mansion they live in. Ooh. J-Lo, did you wipe all the fudge out of your vagina after you did P. Diddy, who'd been doing men too? These women have no intelligence whatsoever. They got to where they were because they've got a pair of tits. Not talent, not intellectual acumen. And women talk about men have better, more this. No. Women can have a set of tits and skate through life because of the lust of us. That's a fact. Is J-Lo any more talented than people that never make the big stage? No, she isn't. It's who the producers, it's who the world wants to elevate to heroine status. But look at the women involved with P. Diddy and ask yourself, they're all acting shocked. They're stupid. You want hollow saran wrap culture? You get hollow and saran wrap culture. The joke's on you, ladies. I don't respect P. Diddy. I never did. Anybody with the name P. Diddy needs to grow the fuck up. Kind of a black gangster mentality. Really? A hustler. Showing off. And then using people for his nefarious, self-indulgent privileges. The guy had money. He could have slept with numerous women and or gay men. But he's got to resort to this dark world. They say that Beyonce, all these people are in an occult. I believe it. They're probably doing satanic rituals when the cameras are off. And I don't like P. Diddy. I don't trust him. I mean, the only thing I can offer for him is I hope he gets saved. Because if he doesn't, he's not going to be able to enjoy any of those memories in hell. It's funny that the Democrats judge Donald Trump for a speech made on a coach bus 2 years before he got elected. The Democrats won't judge this stuff at all. They won't judge P. Diddy. They won't say this is reprehensible. They won't say a damn word about it. Oprah and the Democrats are distancing themselves. Oh, you got cum on your face, ladies? You got embarrassment and shame on your faces? You know, the Bible says something, judge not lest you be judged. Now, that doesn't mean you can't judge. It's talking about what side of the bleachers you're sitting on when you judge. When you have unbelievers like Oprah and Kamala Harris and the Democrat left judging everybody, Christians, conservatives, flag-waving, constitutional supporting Americans, they forget that Jesus has prophecy for them. For the measure they use will be used against them. You think the Democrats are moral sexually? Oh, please. Look at what their big name people are doing. Epstein, P. Diddy. These are Democrat supporters. They're anti-Trump all the way. Look at what they're doing. People jumped on me years ago. They jumped on me because as a man, I'd post pictures of pretty women, and I constantly got Facebook jail for that. And I've seen where social media would rather have men be into gay stuff and lesbians into lesbian stuff than me have a natural attraction towards a woman. And why is that? Because the world's trying to redefine everything, redefine roles, redefine men, redefine women. We got 88,000 pronouns now. All stupid poppycock. This isn't me making this up. This is the truth. If I wanted to be gay and run around in a dress and wear bra and panties, that would be encouraged. But if I have an interest in good-looking women, this good-looking woman will shame the hell out of me. Oh, my God, he looked at me. Oh, my God, he thought he'd get a date with me. Oh, my God. But they'll date a P. Diddy. They'll date a thug. They'll date a convict. When are men going to collectively stand up and say, women, you're full of shit in this society? When? Kamala Harris is riding on the fumes of dumb women. None of those women are thinking about what are you going to do, all you white women that live in your gated communities, when you hear the sound of shelling and the whistle of bombs. What are you going to do? You think it can't happen? Our leadership has gotten us into a hell of a mess. Joe Biden, a man who claims he could do more push-ups than Donald Trump, spending billions of U.S. taxpayer dollars, giving it to Zelensky so that Ukrainians, the elites, can have brand new high-end cars. Zelensky is an asshole. And the media says Trump said rude things about Zelensky. The media needs to be disbanded in this country. They have over-abused freedom of speech. The Constitution didn't give us the freedom to lie, but the left has a free pass to it every day. P. Diddy just reveals how corrupt the Democrat left is. Jeffrey Epstein, you know, I've been very honest as a man. I've been very honest. I've been very much harassed for that. Men are men, okay? I'm a man. And sometimes, I mean, if I was filthy rich, you get bored. And you had a bunch of women interested in you, and they all said they wanted to play with each other in front of you, and you could sit there and watch. Yeah, some of us would do that. Okay, let's have a pussycat party. But it's interesting. The Democrats want to grab the so-called moral high ground on everything. They need to talk openly about P. Diddy and say this P. Diddy represents their party, represents their bullshit. And Jennifer Lopez, why do we got to be assaulted with how cool and important J-Lo is? J-Lo has no intellectual substance whatsoever. I would say it to her face. She's got tits and nipples. That's it. That's it. That's her selling card. And only vain and dumb people with lust worship that shit. And young ladies in America today are in the shiploads on Reels and TikTok showing their sexual prowess. We're not arriving at intellectualism. We're not seeing young ladies memorize Shakespeare. We're not seeing young ladies known for intellectual acumen. They're selling their sensual, sexual stuff, proving that they were made to be a helpmeet to a man. But they're rejecting that like snakes shedding their skin. Now they go after women. And in my life, just being honest, yep, Mike called himself a Christian and look at what he's doing. I'd rather watch two women be sweet on each other in lesbian porn than get involved with all these dumb broads. I've had sex. I've had a lot of sex. Not recently, but years ago. I've been with women where sex is laborious. Women lay there and do nothing. But you watch two women that are into each other. Oh my gosh, they're so sweet and sensual. I'd rather just watch that. I don't even need to be involved. It meets a deep, deep need, even though it's wrong. I wouldn't want to be married to J-Lo. She would not enjoy my home. She would not enjoy living where the working man lives. J-Lo does not live in a real world. She lives in a stratosphere, a manufactured world of fame, fortune, and you got P. Diddy. She should feel ashamed. She should be embarrassed. She should be like, OMG. But knowing J-Lo, I doubt there's a conscience there. And our society puts these damn women, Pamela Anderson, and I mean, I'm dating myself here. Farrah Fawcett. I mean, Farrah Fawcett had a great set of tits. I would have loved to have sucked them back in the day. These women want to prove something, and all they're proving is that they go back to the default mode of I've got tits and nipples, and it's what we men want. They're not blowing us away with Tulsi Gabbard wisdom. And I bring up Tulsi because Tulsi stands in stark contrast to every Democrat woman out there. Every Democrat woman. It's very rare to find an attractive woman with a powerful mind that articulates well like Tulsi. But that's not what celeb and Hollywood and liberal culture puts out there. They make false statements that Republicans aren't as educated as we are. Okay, based on your statement, how educated were you to put Crapola Harris out there? Are you serious? You see, all I need to do is look at the fruit from the rotten tree, and that tells me everything I need to know. You're not smarter than we are. I admit Republicans put some bad, shitty candidates. Bob Dole, that was a waste of time. Mitt Romney, that was a waste of time. And the Republicans are known for not having good, vibrant, activist candidates that need to challenge the oldster, disgusting mentality of the old, rotting Republicans. I came into a new position in my company and I'm working my ass off. And the guy that was in there previous to me did not do a lot. And I'm seeing evidence of that. And people going, man, Mike rocks over there. We need Republicans like that. We need Republicans to make people go, whoa, listen to this guy. They act like pussies. They're looking at P. Diddy could go to jail 15 years. That's it? That's it. Sounds to me like he's got some privilege if that's the only video showing him beating up a girlfriend. That should be chargeable right there. What? Take a white woman, call 911 and say husband's beating her. The police show up and take him off. I'm so sick of a certain group of people saying that whites got privilege, P. Diddy's got privilege, blacks got privilege, Democrats got privilege, dumb women like J-Lo got privilege. They can walk around with no bra on and everybody's just like, it's ridiculous. Jennifer Lopez is overrated. All these women in Hollywood are. They don't have talent. They just got selected. Acting. Shit. I see actors all day long and they're not in a Hollywood movie. I work with women that are acting. They can't stand me. Good morning, Mr. Nelson. Fuck you. Come on. P. Diddy just reveals what I've been stating all along, that women don't make wise choices. To quote elementary school, make wise choices. J-Lo doesn't make wise choices. Kardashians, all of them. You want to ride the roller coaster of fame and celeb culture, you get what you pay for. I don't think J-Lo's losing any sleep over that. She doesn't have to walk behind a push mower and spend an hour mowing her yard. She doesn't work in the hot Georgia sun, sweating profusely. She lives in a life of air conditioning and limousines and 10 billion men hitting her up, 10 million men promising her the world. No, celebs live in a stratosphere that I don't live in, nor can I relate to. And if Hollywood were to crash to the ground, if pop culture were to crash to the ground, if NFL and pro sports were to crash to the ground, it would have no bearing on me at all. The working class aren't even talked about. Even the media, the liberals and the Republicans talk about the middle class, the middle class. What about the fucking working class? The middle class. Let's talk about the middle class women in this country. They're biatches. They're gotta buy the big SUV and drive rude, run through school bus stop signs. I remember some woman shot around me in Florida when I was living in that gated community down there. I was going the speed limit. She did an illegal pass in the residential. And I slowed down. She lived on the street I was living on, and I looked and I thought, oh, we hurried up to get into your driveway to let your daughter out. I should have rolled down the window and said, I don't know why you passed me. I was going the speed limit, and you know what she would have done? White, boring, plain Jane woman. Thought she's too important. But that's okay. I had lived with a guy in Florida who was a complete ass. My truck had a slight power steering leak, and he says, you got to put cardboard under there. The homeowners association. I said, you know what? You got to worry about that shit? It's not going to leave a big old puddle under your driveway. He was yelling and screaming at his wife, favored one of his daughters over another. Oh, yeah. Made $125,000 a year. And as I lived there, he had problems with his other neighbors, and they had problems. Those other neighbors were fucked up. And I noticed something. The middle class people are fucked. I don't want to live next door to middle class people. I hate to say this. I've had some problems with a neighbor, and that's all died down, but this neighborhood is quieter. I mean, there's gunshots here. There's crack houses around here, but this neighborhood is quieter than any middle class neighborhood I've been in, because you got white women that got to have barking, yapping, stupid dogs. I posted a video that showed a white woman sucking a goat's dick the other day. That was on a Facebook reel. That wasn't censored. I wasn't turned on by it. I said, this is what women have become in this country. Some women play with a horse cock. You think I'm joking? There was a white woman arrested in Alabama doing sex videos with her dog. There's young ladies getting on TikTok and Facebook reels, letting the dog lick their vagina with their skimpy little shorts on or their nipples. Women need to be talked about in this society. They've been ignored. They've gotten a free pass. When I drove school bus, more boys would thank me for giving them candy bars for good behavior than the girls. And the girls would whine, oh, I don't like this guy. Well, you know what, honey? Trade it with your friends. No, women haven't gotten better. Middle class women are twats. I've heard them. I see them in the malls. I see them on the roads. They're assholes. They're not nice. They are privileged. They are spoiled. And they have the rules don't apply to me. I had a woman in Duluth pass me every day, my stop sign. Now, I wasn't supposed to do this, but I saw her. I said, oh, we're not doing this again. And I angled the bus to the left and then put out the stop sign. I got out of my bus and I walked. I said, you run past my stop sign every day. You need to stop. And she had children in the car. She told my boss that I got out of my bus and yelled at her. I said, yes, I did. She passes my bus every day after the stop sign's out, and I'm sick of it. I did not get in trouble for that, but he said, well, you shouldn't do that. You see how society works. Don't yell, don't honk, don't react. By us being told to not do that, like the bad drivers, don't look at them, oh, okay. Everybody protect yourself. Let them do what they want. That's why neighborhoods turn to shit. That's why illegals flood into our country. That's why women can be stuck up narcissist bitches and don't have to say thank you when you hold open a door for them, because we've enabled them to do that. They're proud of being bitches. Proud of being bitches. They take pride in that. Remember in the 80s, was it 70s or 80s? My other car is a broom, and they thought that was funny. Remember the song, that ain't no way to treat a lady? No, wait, where's the ladies? I mean, I'm a human. I've flirted with various ladies. Some of them are not exactly the most feminine sweeties. I'm human. I'm a man. You want to ravish a woman, but women have shifted in this culture in a massive San Andreas way. This isn't my opinion. It's a verifiable fact. This is 2024. Democrats believe in evolution, and the best candidate they put out there, the best product of their belief in evolution, is Kamala Harris. Denied the 2020 election. First one to drop out. Nobody was interested in her. They thought she was dumb. That's another thing dumb about our English language. Why has dumb got a B on the end of it? Hello, dum-dum. Remember Gazoo on the Flintstones? They even got candy called Dum-Dums. D-U-M, D-U-M. The kids loved them. I used to buy them. It was cheap. They loved Dum-Dums. Little suckers. Ah, yes. The Democrats like to grandstand that they're smarter, that they're more educational elite. We've seen how college-educated women drive those SUVs. We've seen the way they behave in the grocery store. I find that working class Americans like myself tend to be a little bit nicer, a little more respectful than the middle class. Middle class is full of shit. And I'm sick of the government catering to the middle class, the middle class, the middle class, the middle class. If you kick the working class in the groin, you're going to have a fucking problem. Okay? We drive the country. Middle class women are using up the resources, getting in the way, causing the lion's share of automobile accidents. Yeah, that one. We working class people know we can't afford to get in a wreck. We working class people, well, you don't shit in your own neighborhood. But when you're middle class, you can have barking dogs in your yard and you don't give a shit what the neighbors think, because your big bad husband who bought a Toyota Highlander or a Sequoia will go walk over there and be a tough guy. Oh, yes, middle class is nothing but faux and veneer and bullshit. I remember when I lived in northern Minnesota and Virginia, there was a family across the street with a last name that sounded close to asshole. True story. We had problems with a neighbor behind us who apparently was a friend with them, and she had yapping border collies. Let him out at 2 a.m. And my then wife went over and talked to her several times, and it went bad. And then the two of them got in a spat, and I had to. So I thought, let me write her a letter. I said, I moved into this house. Your son has snowmobiled in my yard. Your son has thrown beer cans in my yard. They burn wheelies up and down the back alley, waking up my son. I have to sleep in the basement because there's so much noise coming from your house with the parties and your barking dogs. And I finally said, shit, I'm going to go downstairs. But now you're disrespecting my wife. She went across the street and told, he wrote a 3-page letter. There's something wrong with this guy. I know that because the guy that used to be nice to me, he used to wave and then he ignored me. I said, hey, how you doing? He ignored me. I said, oh. And she used to walk through my yard, cut through my yard to go to his house. I never came out there and said, don't walk through my property. She was standing in my backyard one day. Oh, what is this woman in my backyard? Oh, there's some kittens in that garage under that bush right there. Cares more about pets than me. I was out with an old 2-wheeled hand mower with the blades. She comes out on a Sunday and she goes, you're kind of kooky. I said, excuse me? I don't know why you call the police. They're laughing at you. I said, I don't care if they're laughing at me. I said, you are the only one that disturbs everybody in this block. You disturb that old lady. She's called me. Other people have told me about you. And I don't care what you think of me. I'm not from this community. I don't give a shit what these people think. I didn't say it that way. I said, your son's throwing beer cans in there. We'll just pick them up and throw them away. I said, no. What if I threw all my trash in your yard? You're just going to pick it up? I have had experience with Democrat women. They're fucking crazy. This woman was not a find. She had hair all over her lip. She had 2 border collies barking and yapping. And I saw her Facebook. I found her, saw her Facebook, and now she's got all these little grandchildren with food all over their face. Oh, my little ones, my little ones, my little ones. Her husband died in an ATV accident because he thought four-wheeling was more important than being safe and being there for the kids. And then the mother played victim because her husband died, and one of the kids went into a church a block away and vandalized the church and took a shopping cart out of the church and had tracks in the snow from the back door of the church to the alley to his house. And the police just followed the tracks and saw the shit behind the garage. And yeah. And the pastor forgave the son because, mama had been through so much with the loss of her husband years before. And I said, oh, here we go. The enablement continues. And my ex-wife is just like her. True story. American women, there's some good ones. They're usually taken. But P. Diddy ought to teach us the high-profile celeb culture women still can't get it straight. They want to be seen with a star. A falling star. Women choose shit for men all the time. They'll go on and on about sweaty, hairy, tattooed LeBron. There's a rumor that LeBron was part of all that. And when these people talk about politics and racism, I just laugh and go, really? And you guys are doing naughty, 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 wicked things, thinking nobody knows. But watch what happens. They'll feel sorry for the celebs that were hurt by P. Diddy. I don't. I wish every one of them would get AIDS or something because it'd serve them right. You guys look down on us. You look down on the working class. You look down on good men and you go after that. You should get a mouthful of herpes. But David said it well. Why do the wicked prosper? Hollywood is on the broad road, folks. P. Diddy's on the broad road. Oprah, Kamala, the Democrats, they travel the broad road that leads to destruction. Don't kid yourself. They've hijacked the media. They've hijacked the word science. They've hijacked the modern education system, and they're using it all because Satan is the prince of the power of the air, and the left and Satan's puppets have control. God is sovereign. Don't kid yourself. But these high-profile women, they're not intellectuals. They're not good leaders. They're bedroom toys. That's it. And they think they're so important because of their celeb status. And now they've all been caught in the tangled web they weave. And I need to say that. I could give a shit about P. Diddy. I hope they throw the book at the son of a bitch. They should throw the book at all the dumb idiots and embarrass the hell out of them and have the P. Diddy Hall of Shame. That this is what you women choose. You got white women that'll spend 2 months interneting me back and forth. Why were you divorced? Put me on the damn witness stand for the past. But they'll run after a star. No questions asked. Yeah, I'm a bit cynical. You can call me harsh. No harsher than the Democrats. No harsher than the feminists. The difference between me and them is I speak the truth. They don't. I never watched the Kardashians. People say they're for Trump. I don't know. This is what's driving this election. Celeb Hollywood, liberal, bullshit classroom culture. You know, that Hollywood is more. Look at public schools when teachers are playing celeb music to the kids to secure them. That's not an education, folks. That's dumbing them down all the day. My friend said it well the other day. My friend in Ohio. He said they're not interested in people like you and I who tell the truth. It's all about feel good. You know, if I had millions of dollars and I could spoil some woman, I could probably get any date I wanted with a trophy wife myself. Problem is, I couldn't do it. I'd rather have a raw village girl who loves me for who I am than some bric-a-brac celeb culture. J-Lo would be good for a fuck. Maybe. I bet you I could get more mileage out of a foreign woman sexually, where she and I both have mutually reciprocating awesome lovemaking over J-Lo, the Kardashians, these celebs. They're dropping so much makeup, so much fakery, so much plastic, and they're drawn to people like P. Diddy and Snoop Dogg and LeBron. These are not role models, folks. They're not. They're privileged. They're spoiled. And then when they get to the top, they can't act right. You can take the guy out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of P. Diddy. Bam!